quarterback?
Yeah, I think Drew will be okay.
Everything checked out okay on whatever images?
Yeah.
So he starts and Tommy's the backup again?
Yep.
Any update on Micah?
No, not going to go today. So, again, it's early in the week.
Who else is not going to practice? Maybe new? Anyone new?
I'll just give you guys that aren't right now.
Okay.
So, Tracy, he won't practice. Again, it's Tuesday, so it's a little different. Neighbors, John Michael, Stroman, Lane, Durden, McFadden, Drew Phillips.
Drew Phillips is, for what it's worth, from Pro Football Focus, ranked one of the top 5 corners in the NFL this year. Has he had that kind of good year for you guys?
I'm sorry I missed you. I lost you a little bit.
I said he's ranked as one of the top 5 corners in the NFL. Not rookies. All ranked as one of the top 5 corners in the NFL by Pro Football Focus. Has he had that kind of year for you?
Look, I think he's done a nice job for us. He's a physical player. I think he's shown that where he plays in particular. He's part of a lot of run fits, an aggressive tackler, continues to improve. Young player that's definitely has a lot of upside and continue to develop.
That's what is his next, like as you look forward to, what's his upside?
Yeah, I just think I think he's a good football player. And, again, I think a lot of those guys that we drafted this past year have really done a nice job of performing when they've had opportunities to. So he'll be a good young player to continue to develop, create turnovers, knock the ball out, intercept the pass. Those are all things that you need to do to be an elite defensive back.
You went with Tommy out of the bye week. With 2 weeks here, he's a younger guy, undrafted rookie this year. Why not give him an opportunity these last couple of weeks just to kind of see what you have there, maybe a better look at that?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of been 1 week, next week, based on, I'd say, injury, besides that first week. So we'll try to get 2 weeks of same cadence, same play caller in the huddle, and we'll go with Drew.
Recognizing that there were business decisions involved as well, with what's happened at quarterback since then, does any part of you look back and say you wish you had stuck with Daniel?
Yeah, I just focus on where we're at right now. So, we'll do everything we can do to get all 3 of those guys ready, because obviously you never know. So that's where our focus is.
With this being the last home game, do you kind of preach that message to the guys, hey, it's another week, but also you guys don't want to be the first team that goes 0-9 at home?
Yeah, try to get a win. Do everything we can do to get a win.
What would it mean to you to get a home win at this point?
Well, I mean, if we're trying to get a win in any way, shape, or form, I can understand, coming to a game and watching your team not win. That's no fun. It's certainly no fun for anybody involved, and we're doing everything we can to try to do that, for us, but also, people that come out and support us.
I know you probably aren't paying a ton of attention, but it is, the fan base is paying attention to it. Do you notice the other day when the Raiders win and you guys are in position now to get the number 1 pick, is there a reaction around here? Do people react to that at all?
Yeah, I'd say laser focused on what we need to do, of getting ready to play this week.
Jonathan Taylor against the challenge there. I mean, he had a pretty embarrassing moment 2 weeks ago and seemed to come back with quite some vengeance.
Yeah, saw that play. He's an explosive player. Big, he's strong, he's fast. They rushed for over 300 yards last game against Tennessee, but he had 2 of them that went for 140. Strong, fast. He's a very good player. One of the better backs in the league, and we've seen Kamara and Henry, and Bijan last week. So hits keep coming.
And then Anthony Richardson. I know that wasn't a draft that you guys were in the quarterback market for, but you and I think every coach I've ever talked to always says you do work on all the quarterbacks. Yeah. So what was your pre-draft thoughts on him and where he is now?
Yeah, I'd say explosive player, explosive athlete, has a cannon for an arm, can throw it a far away. I'd say he's, they're doing a nice job. Obviously, he runs the ball, but he's plenty talented enough to throw it where he needs to throw it. And I think, anytime you have a young quarterback, you continue to develop him. It's not going to be perfect for most of the quarterbacks that get drafted right out the gate. I think he's done a nice job. He's got all the skill set in the world. He's a dual threat player, and he can affect any part of the field, whether it's with his legs or, throwing it however far he needs to throw it. And he's got some pretty good skill players that he uses. Downs has done a heck of a job. I thought it was really going to be a good player coming out of there. And, he's continuing to develop, and as he continues to develop, his skill set shows.
The Colts don't have great defensive numbers, but what do they do that is a concern?
Well, Coach Bradley, he's done it for a long time. So, Gus has been in this league for a long time. They got two really good interior players. They have good team defensive scheme. They play their certain style that they like to play with, and every team in the league is a good football team. They got a lot of good players. They got good coaches. And, they did a heck of a job, I'd say. I know it ended up being 38-30 against Tennessee, but really started out the game really strong. It was 38-7 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter going into the fourth. So I think Shane's done a nice job. So has Gus.
Going back to Taylor, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
You guys did a good job slowing down Kamara and Henry. Can you take some encouragement from that, or does how Bijan played Robinson? Does that kind of make you concerned about the front a little bit for you guys?
Well, I would say every week is a new week, so there's certainly different challenges for each week. Again, I'm not saying it's the same, but you have Henry and Lamar, kind of that duo. You got Richardson, and so again, every week is a new challenge. I think we've done a much better job these last few weeks, really with our run defense, yards per carry, tackling, and those things have been a point of emphasis. They've been a point of emphasis all year, but these last few weeks have really. These young guys have done a nice job. I think the linebackers have, really played well, downhill, tackled well, and certainly be a challenge this week. With, again, you don't really hear of rushing for 330-plus yards in each NFL game. It'll be a challenge.
Obviously, it's been a tough year overall for you guys, but do you give a special holiday message to your team when you're going through times like this?
Come out here, practice. I'll have tomorrow spend some time with their loved ones. Appreciate all their efforts, and get ready to go out there and have a good week to play against Colts here.
Assuming Mike, obviously how he goes the rest of the week. How have you been impressed with?
Sorry, one more time.
Assuming Micah. Okay.
This is helpful. Sorry. Yep.
How have you been impressed with Darius? Just kind of his game last week, and obviously he has a bigger role. How confident are you that he can handle that?
Yeah, he's another rookie that's done a nice job for us. Smart, tough, instinctive. He's been productive since he's been able to play with him and Micah. They've done a nice job. He's continued to develop. I think Eggs has done a really good job with him, and he's got the right traits. Cares about football, young professional, got a good skill set, tough, good young player to work with.